to discuss Larry Fishelson, Eric Schiffer, and Steve Hilton. Steve, you're out there in the tech world. Do you think the meeting, I mean, no one knows exactly what it might have been said behind closed doors. I think everyone agrees it was much needed. But where does it go from here?
Well, Charles, you know, the thing that makes me laugh about this fight between tech and Trump is that actually when you look at the way tech leaders think about their businesses, they are in favor of so many of the things that Trump argues for. They love lower taxes. They want to see taxes cut. They can't stand big government and regulation telling them what to do. They believe in the free enterprise system. All of that is true when it comes to their own businesses. But personally, their track record is of shoveling money to Democrat candidates, including Hillary Clinton, who believe in the exact opposite things. So I think when they actually get to know each other a bit better, I think there might be much more common ground than we might think.
Eric, you're also a California guy. There's no doubt all businesses, right, you would probably think that love lower regulations, fewer regulations, lower taxes and those things. But there are some decided points where the Silicon Valley interests are diametrically opposed to Donald Trump, particularly on social issues. Yesterday, 100 workers out there signed a petition saying they would never, under any circumstance, help Donald Trump with building a database for Muslim registry or helping anything that would lead to deportation of illegal immigrants. So there's certainly some serious friction going on.
There is. And you look at the faces of those guys in that meeting. They didn't look happy in the beginning. They looked like they got kicked somewhere, and it wasn't in their stomach. So I think that it's going to be hard for them initially to adjust.
Was it a comeuppance of sorts to even have to be summoned to Trump Tower?
Oh,
I mean, these guys are generally on center stage. I saw Tim Cook sitting there like
they were shamed. They were shamed. Come on, it was bad. I mean, these guys are used to being in power. They're not in power now. They know one tweet can affect their stock price. Yeah, this guy's got him. He knows he's got him.
He knows he's got him. And to that point, IBM, I guess, drew the short straw because Ginny Rometty had to write this op-ed in USA Today saying, hey, we're going to create jobs in America. We're going to invest in American workers. And she got ahead of the curve on this. And you would suspect this is a template for any industry that may have to go face Donald Trump.
She got ahead of the curve, Charles. But I believe that more than half the people in that room pulled the lever for Donald Trump and voted for Donald Trump. I do believe that. I think it's basically based on social issues. If you saw there was a letter of 140 tech execs that wrote a month ago against Donald Trump. There was nothing about business in there. It was all on social issues. So they're trying to play that they're playing the social issue on the West Coast. At the end of the day, if you look at the taxes, you look at the repatriation, you look at the regulations, you got to build out, for everything to work in tech, you got to build out 5G networks. To do that, you got to lower Obamacare to get folks in. You got to lower regulations. You got to scrap net neutrality. And I believe by getting in a new FCC commissioner, whether it's Ajit Pai or Jeff Eisenach, you could do that, and I believe they will do that. And having Peter Thiel in there is huge. He brought everybody together. So I believe everybody does like Trump because it's good for their business, and this is about personal issues.
Steve, let me ask you, and I'm going to come back to you, Eric, but Steve, let me ask you about the H-1B visa workers, because we know that's a sticking point. We know that in Silicon Valley and tech world, they keep saying they need more. The letter itself from Rometty said, we've got 500,000 job openings right now. The bottom line is Americans cannot do these jobs. We need more than 85,000 workers a year to come into this country.
Yeah, but look, again, I think that there could be much more room for compromise than people think. I think a lot of people would agree, I think Trump has even said this during the campaign, that we should be open to high-skilled immigration. We understand that America was a nation of immigrants, that's a source of our success. That's particularly true here in Silicon Valley. But that does not mean that you have an open-door policy to import cheap labor that harms our economy and our society. So I think that Trump himself has said things like it doesn't make any sense to educate the world's best students at places like Stanford and then ship them off to other countries so they can build their businesses there. So I think he understands that there's some room for a place for being open to skilled immigrants, but that doesn't mean that business can get all the cheap labor that it wants.